Well, Bitcoin has demonstrated that it's the only truly decentralized monetary network in the world. So everything else, whether it's fiat money, CBDCs, gold, or altcoins, are all either absolutely or relatively centralized as compared to Bitcoin. And decentralization is the unique quality that makes Bitcoin revolutionary because it exists outside of any central control. It exists outside of any state control, of any group or corporate control, and therefore it exists in as pure money. It's virtually perfect money, where the transaction value of Bitcoin is determined entirely by by the market, so to speak. So this is unique. This doesn't exist anywhere else. As such, it's pulling away from the rest of any competitor or any system that suggests that it might compete with Bitcoin. Clearly, there's going to be a lot of losers. Stefan, you've got the fiat money world is in total chaos. The dollar and the euro are really suffering epoch-defining collapses at the moment. I'm sure I'm not telling any secrets here. It's pretty obvious what's going on in the fiat money world. Gold is not decentralized, really, when you compare it to Bitcoin. And in the altcoin market, it's clearly not decentralized. You've got plenty of attack vectors in the altcoin market. The centralization takes many forms. Either the code base has changed often, or you've got it's driven by a cult of personality. It's just many forms of centralization you see in the altcoin space. None are truly decentralized. And just as an interesting side point, I saw a headline just cross the last couple of days that the EU has come out and said we need to attack Bitcoin and support Ethereum. Ethereum is kind of the second most well-known in this space. And it's clearly not decentralized. It's clearly not money. It's clearly an exit scam, and it's clearly the pet of the central bankers around the world. And it should be clear at this point, as Michael Saylor said in a Real Vision interview last year, altcoins, including Ethereum, you'd have to say that they're both unethical and immoral to support these projects. It goes beyond just failed projects. It's actually immoral to support them. And I think people need to realize that when they support these altcoins, including Ethereum, they're really acting in an unethical, immoral way. Because one of the attributes of Bitcoin is that it's unconfiscatable. That means that for somebody to build up a Bitcoin position, they can't rely on the old tried and true method of coercion or violence, right? Typically, the way empires are built or the way wealth is created is through violence and war. Countries or corporations. One of the side issues being discussed, of course, with El Salvador is that it's been the victim of American violence and CIA violence for decades because they are stealing the resources of that country and all over Central America. But this is not unique to El Salvador or Central America. The U.S. is doing this all over the world. And so violence and war are part and parcel with fiat money. So fiat money is something you can print without constraint to fund your violence and your war. And with Bitcoin, because it's unconfiscatable, to accumulate more Bitcoin, you have to come to the market with something other than violence and coercion. You have to have something that people want to trade with you for Bitcoin. So it's inherently anti-war and anti-violence because of its nature of being unconfiscatable. It's the only unconfiscatable wealth we've ever had as humans. When the book came out, Bitcoin in Black America by Isaiah Jackson, he points out in the first chapter that he heard about Bitcoin on my show, Keiser Report, back in the early 2012 period, and immediately recognized that this is a great benefit to the Black community in America because the Black community in America has over years, almost by definition, they've had their wealth confiscated. This is one of the problems.